Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Envy laptop model 15-BA1093CL. Alright, so the customer got in a car crash, they said, and the laptop slid off their passenger seat, and as you can see, it's all bent and warped. They said it was turning on for a bit, and then now it's not turning on anymore, so I'm not too sure what's going on with it. We're going to open it up and take a look inside. I mean, other than the destroyed screen. We're going to use a JS1 screwdriver. You do have to remove the rubber foot here. It was already missing, so I don't know at what point the customer took that out. But anyways, there's two JS1 screws here. We'll take those two out. I'm not sure if there's any other hidden screws under here. Let's go ahead and remove this piece just to be sure. Okay, so I'm just getting underneath with my fingernail, and then we're going to peel this up, and it looks like no screws, so I guess let's put this thing back down. Okay. Okay, so we'll just put that rubber foot thingy back down in place, and then we're going to switch over to a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver to remove the two screws down here. Alright, this bottom cover is likely going to be very difficult to remove because there's only 4 screws holding it together, which means there's going to be some very strong clips in here. Alright, most likely I'm going to have to use my metal pry tool. I've noticed, I think on these HP models, they tend to be very difficult to get apart. I don't think using a suction cup or anything is going to work. We can try, but pretty sure. Maybe because it got hit in the car crash, you can see there's some wobbliness to it. I don't know. It looks like I can pull up the back plate here a tiny bit. I don't know if the clips are all just broken because of the crash. So yeah, anyways, normally I would go up the side, as you can see, and then slide my fingernail or pry tool through there to pull the clips up. It looks like this is working, so interesting. That actually came out very easily. I don't know if it's because it was damaged in the car crash, but there we go. That's what it looks like inside. We're going to at least do a battery reset. It looks like everything in here seems to be mostly soldered to the motherboard, but let's see. Okay, first thing we'll do is disconnect the battery. Battery model number is BN03XL. Looks like we can disconnect the battery without actually pulling the battery up and removing the screws. So what I do is I get my fingernails at the wings, and you just kind of wiggle it and pull it back, and there you go. You can see we got the battery connector out. After disconnecting the battery, for safety measure, I always like to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. This makes it a lot safer to work on and greatly reduces the risk of damage when removing the screen, the LCD LVDS connector. Okay, we're going to give it a few more seconds, and let's go ahead and start disconnecting some other components. So under here they have this like taped up thing. You got the wireless card here. We can't do anything with that. DC jack, charge port connector here. Alright, if you want to remove that, you do have to remove these hinge screws and flip the hinge up. I'm not going to mess around with that because that looks perfectly fine. You also got the M.2. Most likely this is a PCIe NVMe SSD. Oh, it looks like this adhesive stuff is holding on to it very strong, and it even tore a little bit trying to peel it up. So, should I just... Okay, I guess we can peel this side up, and then we can undo this screw here, JS1 screw, and then we can lift this up and slide this out, right? I'm going to wiggle this, and it should come out. Jeez, why is it... Is there adhesive holding it? Yep, there is some adhesive holding. Oh, the adhesive is holding on to this metal shim, as you can see. And there's the M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. We're going to actually take the SSD out, so we're going to separate it carefully. And then we're going to put that in first. It looks slightly warped. I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I feel like it's slightly warped. So maybe this was also damaged when the thing got bent. But we'll push that back in. Okay, we're just gonna kind of unclick stuff and then make sure they're in all the way. I believe this is for the touchscreen or maybe the webcam and stuff. You got the LCD LVDS connector here. Sometimes this also controls the touchscreen. Alright, you got this little connector here, which I'm not too sure what that's for, but we'll flip that latch down. It says JIR1, so I don't know what that is. USB-C ports are part of the motherboard. Speakers plug in right there, and then I'm pretty sure there's a cable that goes along underneath somewhere. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure it goes underneath and connects to this other speaker here. Okay, I guess let's take out the battery screw and see what's underneath. We're gonna get this back on. It doesn't look like there's a way for this to like slot or latch, so basically the screw is just holding it together, and then it's just the what do you call, the little metal pegs are just for alignment. Interesting. Okay, and then I guess this tape kind of helps hold it down a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and get the battery out. Oops, sorry, I think I wasn't zoomed out enough for you guys to see anything, but I just stuck this back down on top and then put the screw in. Okay, let's go ahead and get the battery screws out and see what's going on with the battery, or underneath the battery. Okay, there's 4 screws along the top. If I didn't already mention, you want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got those 4, and then we got these 2 here. Alright, and I also didn't mention, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't, it'd also be helpful if you could watch a few of my other videos to let the YouTube algorithm know that my channel is helpful or people are interested in watching my channel. But there you go. There's the connector. Again, battery model numbers right there, BN03XL. Okay, if I didn't already mention that. If you're wondering, there's no removable RAM. It looks to be all soldered to the motherboard. This kind of stuff is stuck on there pretty good, so I don't want to mess around with it. CPU is under here, soldered to the motherboard. There's 3 screws holding the heatsink down if you want to remove that and redo the thermal paste. There's the fan there with the fan connector here. Keyboard backlight connector here, keyboard connector here. You got the touchpad, trackpad connector here. And then you got this one, which is JFPR, so fingerprint reader connector there. Okay, not really much else to look at in here, I don't think. I don't see anything special to look at or anything. I think the screen is probably destroyed, and probably the motherboard also got some damage, because when we go and try and turn it on, the caps lock doesn't respond, but the power light comes on. But let's go ahead and put this back together and just press the power button and see if anything changed. The CMOS BIOS RGC real-time clock battery is built into this main battery, so a lot of times resetting that might help with something. But since the screen looks destroyed, I have a feeling it's still not going to work. But anyways, let's try and get that in. Okay, this all lined up, and then we're gonna pull both sides in, and it helps to kind of like pinch it into place. There we go. Okay, let's get all the battery screws back in, and then let's go ahead and try and power it on and see what we got. Alright, so the only thing in here it looks like that you can upgrade is the M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. RAM appears to be soldered to the motherboard. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be removable RAM because the other side of the motherboard, there's not much of a gap there, so there's not really anywhere for it to go. Alright, so get the last couple screws, and then let's go ahead and try and power it up. We're going to try and power it up before putting on the bottom cover. We'll carefully open this up and power it on. And right now, nothing's happening. I might have to actually plug this computer in. Is this charged with USB-C? Looks like it does. Okay, let's see. Power button's not doing anything. Let me plug this in real quick. Wait, does it have a normal charger as well? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. The customer gave me their charger, so we're going to use that. Alright, so let's plug this in and see if any changes. Got this plug. The charge light, orange charge light is on. Okay, as you can see. Let's see if power button does anything. Okay, power button is lit up. But I'm pretty sure nothing's going to come on the screen. The screen looks really badly damaged. Caps lock light does nothing. Fan is spinning, as you can see. Oh, and it stopped. And it's starting again. Oh yeah, again, because we disconnected the battery, the CMOS, BIOS, RTC, real-time clock, whatever, is reset. So keep that in mind. The BIOS is going to be resetting itself, and usually it will pop up a thing to tell you to reset the date and time, things like that, but nothing's coming on the screen. You can see the fan stopped again, and it started again, and it stopped again, and it started again. Oh, maybe it's just completely dead. Yeah, it's completely dead. So it keeps just spinning and stopping and spinning and stopping. That's actually a sign that the motherboard is toast. Like, it's not even allowing it to completely boot. So likely this motherboard has a crack in it from that damage, and it's not going to be repairable. So I think that's it for now. We're just going to put this thing back together, and then we'll call it a quits on it, because it's likely going to need a replacement, everything except the SSD. So, well, actually, the battery can remain. The keyboard is probably okay, but motherboard will need to be replaced. Screen assembly will need to be replaced. And those are like the main things. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Usually I'll get it with the bottom side in first. Okay, if we can, slide those clips in, then push away around the sides and everything. Okay, it looks like it just kind of stays together. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 screws up here first, and then the 2 screws at the bottom. And that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. And if you can't do that, it would be very helpful if you could watch a few of my other videos and comment on them as well. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.